guys, it's me Desiree Marie and I'm back here today to do another video. Welcome everyone, and if you are a new time viewer, welcome. Join the crew and subscribe. I do so many different types of videos. In addition to this DIY video, I do a lot of chit chats. You already know I like to talk. I like to do daily vlogs. I like to do shopping vlogs, and I also talk about hair, natural hair, dreadlocks. I bring you guys along with me as I maintain my dreadlocks. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, definitely join the crew and subscribe. We are a community of awesome people and I just love interacting with you guys. So I upload practically every day. You will definitely have an awesome, cool video to view as you're eating your lunch, as you're doing different things around the house. Yeah. But anyway, today, as you see by the title, I'm going to be bringing you guys along with me as I do a DIY project, and as I'm celebrating with a little bit of water, no alcohol included, but I'm celebrating a whole year that I have been in my apartment living alone and truly adulting. Can we get an applause here? Yes, toast. Yes, it has been a whole year that I have been adulting in my apartment, and it is so awesome. I have been just amazed at the different things that I have learned along the way, different experiences that I've had, and the way that I've truly grown as an adult in this last year, in this whole year. So I will be giving you guys a little bit of insight on the things that I've learned since I've moved out of my parents' house and been living on my own in my one bedroom apartment. And while I'm talking to you guys about that, I will be doing a DIY project that I have been wanting to do for a while. I actually started it, but now I'm redoing it because I definitely am confident that I will get it right this next time. But this is actually something that I saw on Pinterest, and I thought to myself, wow, I really like to do that. So I looked up the supplies that I needed and realized, wait a minute, this is way too expensive and out of my budget. I need to do this thing cheap because look, I got rent to pay, I got bills to pay, I need to do this thing on a budget. So the thought came to me that I can DIY this whole entire project. I don't have to spend any money. These are materials that I can be using, the materials that I could use for this project instead of purchasing the wooden letters and the flowers and all of this stuff. I could find these things around my apartment and just get started in recreating this Pinterest inspired look. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. If you're interested in recreating this project, well, you can join along with me. I also have the things that I did down below in the description box so that you can do this on your own time if you are interested. But just to get started, before we talk about the different lessons that I've learned since I've moved out of my parents' house and lived on my own for one whole year, I'm going to show you guys the things that I need, well, that you'll need in case you want to do this project too. So first thing is a foam board. I was a little extra and I went to Target and purchased this. This was like a little over $10, and this is like a trifold thing. I was extra because you can definitely find that same, well, not a foam board, but you can find a cardboard at your local 99-cent store. You can find it, you can use like a cardboard box that you have laying around, as long as it's enough material to create the letters that you want. But of course I was a little extra and I got this from Target, and I feel like this is enough cardboard for me to really get what I want to get done. Another thing that I have here in my little bag of tricks is a bunch of vibrant flowers. Now these flowers, I intend on making the O shape to the home sign. I want to, you know, make a ring of beautiful vibrant flowers just to really welcome me as I come in, because I plan to put this put these letters up by the threshold of my apartment, so when I walk in I feel like I'm at home. It's been a whole year and I really want to make my apartment finally feel like a place that I can relax and lay my head down and feel more comfortable and at ease. I have not decorated and made the place exactly what I want it to be after a whole year, but this is the year to take a chance and get it done. So that's what I'm gonna do. I also have material that I'll be using for the letters, and this is an old potato sack. I think it might be burlap, I'm not sure, but it is an old potato sack. And I was like, wait, we're not even using this, so why not use this material for my project? I do love the texture. Yeah, I love the texture, and I feel like this will definitely go with the ring of flowers and give me that shabby chic look that I really, really like. So those are the materials. I also have handy dandy scissors, and like I said, I tried this project previously, but it didn't work out. So what I'm gonna do is use the letters that I did in the previous project that didn't work out. I'm gonna use the letters as my stencils. So I did try this before on cardboard material. You can definitely use it, you know, use material like this. It will work out just as well. But yeah, I'm just gonna use this as my stencil. I have the M, I have the H, and I have the E down here. So yeah, I'm just going to line this thing up on my whiteboard, cut it out, and yeah. And then I'm going to glue the burlap on the letters. You're gonna see as we go along in the video. So the first lesson that I learned when I moved out of my parents' house and lived on my own is that I have to learn to be alone and be happy. I didn't know that I would feel so alone and just feeling lonely and feeling a sense of like grief. I don't know why. I felt like a huge sense of grief because of the change that was going on in my life. I felt like things were changing so fast, and mind you, for a long time I lived with my parents as the oldest sibling, so I was always responsible for someone else. There was always activity going on in my house. There was just always something going on, and there was just never much quiet, much times of quiet throughout the day. And I'm an introvert. I'm the type of person, don't get me wrong, I love my time alone. I love quiet, I love solitude, but I also do like human interaction. So that was the thing that I did enjoy while still living at home, but I also didn't enjoy it because there was no time for myself. So now that I have loads of time for myself living at home, well, living at my apartment, I had too much time for myself. I felt like I had too much time and that I needed to fill in the space with noise. So every day I would come home and I would put on the TV even though I'm not watching it, or put on the radio, listen to something just to fill in the space so that I wouldn't feel so lonely. I mean, I did have my 2 dogs, but it just felt lonely. It felt like a huge change, and I wasn't ready for it mentally and emotionally, even though I thought I was when I was still living at home and planning and writing my list of things that I needed and the things that I'll do. I was just so goal oriented, but when I finally got to the place that I've been praying to be, I started to feel fearful. I started to feel lonely. I started to feel like, wow, is this it for my life? I don't know, it's just a really crazy experience. You pray for something, but then when you get it, you're not exactly ready emotionally for it. So that's something that I felt. You know, I felt alone a lot of the time. And so to fill in that void, I would invite my friends over. We would have hangouts, you know, we would play games and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing that I did to fill in the space. But I also realized that I can't fill in the quietness too much because this was God's way. I felt like it was God's way of pruning me as a woman, making me into the woman that I'm supposed to be, into the adult that I'm supposed to be. I have to learn how to be by myself in this season, because someday I'm gonna get married and I'm gonna have kids, and at that point, boy, I'm really not gonna have any time for myself, and it will just be all about them. For so long, it's been all about my siblings and about my mom and my dad and just doing things for everyone else. And now that I have the time to invest in me, I need to enjoy this time and really grab hold of all that I can learn from this season in my life while I'm single and while I'm living alone, and have all the time in the world to think and to pray and to meditate. Yeah, some people, they do clamor under the pressure, and when it gets so quiet, they turn to other things like alcohol and partying too much and just bad addictions that come when you're not secure within yourself. So something that I learned is that you have to be secure inside yourself, mentally, spiritually, physically. You have to be strong to live alone. It's not for everyone. Some people, yeah, they can live with their parents until they get married. For me, I knew in order for me to grow as a woman the way that I wanted to grow, I needed to live alone. I needed to be alone. And when I finally got that experience, I started to feel regretful. But I'm happy to say a year later, I feel a lot better about it. I'm so excited at the end of the day to go home and just have the time to spend doing what I want to do, like watching TV all I want to do, you know, watching TV all that I want, eating snacks, and just spreading out and being by myself and being happy with it, especially after having dealt with human beings all day. As an introvert, I need to go back to my turtle shell, recover, and then see the world again. So that's something that I learned since I've been out of my parents' house. Another thing that I learned as I have been living alone is that my standards need to raise. Since I've been out of my parents' house and living alone and adulting and doing all of these adult-like things like paying my own bills and doing food shopping and doing laundry and cleaning the place and just really, like, you know, doing all that I need to do in order to upkeep my life, I've been feeling more like, I've been thinking more towards the future. I've been thinking more serious, you know. When I moved out, I was 29 years old. Now I'm 30 years old. So when I moved out, I was already in the mindset like, oh my gosh, I'm 29, next year I'll be 30. When you get to that point, you really start to think more serious, like, okay, what is my life? What do I need to be doing right now? You start questioning everything. I didn't realize that I would do that too, question everything, like question everything in my life and all that I've been doing this far and how fruitful it has been. So I've been questioning a lot, but I also have been questioning my relationships and thinking, well, Desiree, you need to raise your standard, because now that you're living on your own and you are an independent woman and you're adulting here in these streets, you want someone, when they do come into your life, you want someone that you can see a future with. You want someone who you can share this life that you now have with, someone who you can grow old with, someone you can have children with and really start a life with. You don't want someone to just be hanging out on dates with. You don't want someone to just be your buddy. You don't want someone who, you know, to just be casual with, or, you know, those things are great when you're still living at home because you're not really thinking in the future. Not to say that everyone still living at home is not thinking that way, but when you're young and you're living at home, certain things are not as important to you. It started to be very important to me to have someone who is confident, someone who is a leader, who I can see as the father of my children, and someone who I can depend on and really have my back, and not just sit back and watch me struggle while he's sitting there like, oh, well, hey, you know, I hope it goes well for you. Like, I really started to take my standards a lot more seriously, and I started to raise them a little bit more. And I'm happy to say a year later I have found someone who is all that I have been talking about, and I can see myself, you know, spending the future with this person and really sharing my life with him. So yes, that's another thing that I learned. Another thing that I learned, not a thing that I learned, but more something that I discovered since I've been living alone this entire year, is that I would talk to myself a lot. Like, I would realize, okay, I would sit and think about how I'm going to plan my day out, and I'd just be talking out loud, and it's like, wait, no one is here. Desiree, you're talking to yourself. But honestly, like, talking to yourself really helps you to get your mind together and really grasp what it is that you're trying to do. For me, for so long, my mom was the one telling me what to do. You know, my parents were the ones telling me what to do. And so that was my indication, okay, Desiree, you need to do that, because your mom said that, your dad said that. But now that I'm alone, I really have to, like, literally speak out loud the things that I need to do to kind of like replace my mom and dad telling me what to do. Like, speak out loud so that I know, okay, this is what I need to do. Like, I'd be on, it's crazy, I'd be in the supermarket thinking about the things that I need, and I'd just be like talking to myself under my breath, like, okay, Desiree, all right, so you need onions to make this meal, you need celery. Like, I'd be standing right in the middle of the aisle, like talking to myself, and it's really crazy, but it's something that you really, like, a lot of people do. I realize it's not that uncommon. Like, I even posted about it on my Facebook page, and I got some responses saying that, yeah, like, I do that too. So I'm not exactly crazy in this one, all right? Another thing that I learned that I discovered and learned that, I mean, I really need to step it up in this area since I've been living on my own this year, is that I have so many chores for one person living alone with her dogs, and that I can't just like bribe somebody to do the chores for me like I did at home. Like, when I was living at home, I have like 4 siblings, so you know, we would have our different duties around the house, different chores to do. I would always be washing the dishes or cleaning the floors or whatever, cleaning the bathroom, which was my least favorite thing to do. But on those days that I didn't feel like washing washing the dishes or cleaning the bathroom, I would bribe my siblings to do it. I would say, you know, hey bro, you wanna earn $1 or 2? Or maybe like, you know, lift it up to $20, just so that they can do it and I can just go sit and relax. I realize now I can't do that. I have to do everything myself or it will not get done. If I decide that I just want to chill and eat dinner and not wash the dishes afterwards, guess what? Those dishes will be waiting for me in the morning. And if I don't wash those dishes, I'm gonna see critters come along and tell me, hey, you need to wash your dishes, or else I'm gonna come and bring my whole posse with me. So if you don't stay on top of your responsibilities, it's all gonna go to shambles, because it all depends on you. That's one of the biggest things that I've learned since moving out, is that everything depends on me. If I decide I don't want to clean up the house, it won't get clean. You know, unless I hire somebody to clean for me, which is completely ridiculous because we out here trying to be on a budget. But if things don't happen, if things don't get done, it's because of me. I can't blame anyone else. I can't blame my sister, can't blame my brother, can't blame anybody but myself. If I decide that I don't want to get up in the morning, I don't have to get up, which is a great thing. But at the same time, you know, you have to stay, you know, you have to keep up yourself. You have to keep up your place. You have to keep up on the bills. You have to keep up on you and your mental health, your emotional health, because when you live alone, no one is telling you to do things. So you're the one that's really in charge here. And when you don't stay on top of yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, you just go to shambles. And that's the type of adult life that you'll have. You know, you don't want to be that adult that just goes to shambles. You want to keep things in order and live your best life. So That's one of the biggest things that I learned, is that everything depends on me. I have to pay my bills on time or I won't have a place to stay, and me and my dogs will be out on the street. I have to keep the place clean or it's going to look disgusting, and then I will definitely have a nasty critter problem. I have to take out the garbage. I have to pay the bills on time. I have to do the laundry or I won't have clean clothes to go to work during the week. You know, everything depends on you. So you have to do your chores. You have to keep up on everything, or else no one else will do it. Unless you're fortunate enough to have a roommate, and even they will not tolerate your crap for so long. It still depends on you. And the last thing that I learned while living alone is that cooking for myself is the best thing ever. At first, I'm telling you, the first time I went food shopping for myself, I did feel depressed, because that was something that I did with my mom and my sister. Every Sunday or every other Sunday, we would go food shopping. That would be our thing. But since I've been out of the house and living on my own this entire year, I go shopping by myself for my own food. At first it was very depressing. The first time I cooked for myself, I was so depressed about it. Like, oh my gosh, like how do I cook for one when I'm so used to cooking for a whole family of like 6 people, 6-7 people. So I was depressed about it before. Like, you know, who am I cooking for? It's just me, and oh, I'm not even that hungry because I just feel so depressed and whatever. Now I enjoy cooking for myself, because guess what? That means if I make my favorite meal and there's leftovers, I can eat all the leftovers I want. Or I can save it for another day and have all those leftovers for like another day or the rest of the week. Like, I am so happy to have everything to myself. I don't have to share. I don't have to share if I don't want to. That's an awesome, fun thing. And yeah, I can have it all to myself. Like, what if I decide to buy some cake and I eat a piece of cake, I don't have to worry about my siblings eating the entire rest of the cake and I come back looking for it and it's nowhere to be found. Like, I know that if I put the cake in the refrigerator and come back the next day, the cake will be in the refrigerator. So that's one of my most favorite things ever, because you guys already know I'm quite the foodie and I love me some food. But yeah, I can make a whole pot of spaghetti or seafood and just have it all to myself. That is the best thing ever, guys. If you are moving out on your own for the first time and you're worried about that, look, you're going to get over it really quickly once you realize that everything is for you and you don't have to share with nobody. What? Girl and guy. All right, guys, so this is the completed project. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but I love it, and it is something that I can look forward to seeing when I come in. Just seeing right there. I do want to fill this in just a little bit more, but for now it is perfect. But what do you guys think? Guys, don't forget to comment down below some of the lessons that you've learned when you decided to move out for the very first time. I would love to hear your responses. But thank you for watching. Do subscribe if you're not, and check out my recent videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!